Hello, hello, hello. It's 12:30 on a Thursday, so you and I are together. I am Dr. Stephanie Fine, and I am talking to you about all things maintenance because I'm chief physician at Maintenance University, and that's where we talk about keeping the weight off, which is the long part of it, right? Isn't it? it's the decades long part. And today, in Ounce of Prevention, which you can get in your inbox if you just go to stephaniefinemd.com, you can sign up right there. We talked about the reasons, your reasons. And it's important to have reasons for behavior change. And when we're talking about weight loss, when you have a reason, you remind yourself. So when you're making the decisions, you have something that you can fall back on. They're usually different between weight loss and maintenance. And most of the time we talk about the weight loss ones because that's usually the place that people are interacting in, but maintenance is a different ballgame. And the thing about that is, in maintenance, in weight loss, you have, let's say, you could even have a wedding coming up or an event, or you have a jeans that you want to get in or something like that. And you're getting reinforcement all the time when you're making positive behavior changes because the scale's going down. You're getting towards the goal and you see it. People usually are commenting. It's great. It stays motivating. But when you're in maintenance, it's a little trickier, right? Because you're already your size. People have said you look great, but now when they're seeing you all the time, they're not saying that again. Maybe we should tell everyone we see how great they look. But anyway, the scale isn't changing. It's just moving teeny little bits, which is what we want. But we're not seeing a constant downward trend. It's staying the same and going up and down in a teeny tiny way, couple of pounds. So that's not motivating you. So then what does? Well, there does have to be a shift in your thinking when you go from weight loss to maintenance. And here's what ends up happening. I think there's a little transition piece where we're scared, which is not my favorite, but I think that it's a reality. That you lost the weight, there's a little bit of fear there that I'm going to gain it back. So in that time, you're continuing to do the behaviors that got the weight off, which is awesome. And in fact is needed, right? Because we have to maintain those behaviors in order for us not to gain. Because if you go back to behaviors that you had before you lost weight, guess what happens? You gain back. That's what happens. So we do have to more mimic the behaviors that we just recently did, those changed behaviors. So we get into the mode of understanding that the rest of our life looks more like this than our previous food life. So the motivation becomes staying in clothes is certainly one of them, right? So you don't have to keep getting new wardrobes. That can be very powerful. But also things like, how does this food make my body feel? I'm eating this way because I feel the most energy now. Those kinds of things that are hard to tell when we're constantly overeating, we're overriding all the feelings of our body usually. Hunger feelings, pain feelings, bloating, gas, all that sort of stuff sort of is an afterthought. But when we're in maintenance mode, it becomes more important to us. We start noticing when we're hungry, what foods make us feel good, which foods don't. And we can start to tweak on that level, which to me is very motivating. When we can be really conscious and deliberate about the food we put in our mouth, it's amazing. What that does too is start to give you the identity of someone who weighs X amount. So when you're at the goal weight that you've had, so you're presumably happy with the number, that it's a much better number than it was before. This is the number you wanted. So you start to form the identity and the behaviors of someone at that weight. And that identity shift is what maintains the motivation. So the identity as someone who maintains this weight, as someone who exercises, as someone who eats these particular foods at this particular time, as someone who, so the identity becomes your reason. And that takes time. So depending how much time it was to lose the weight, because sometimes if it takes a good long time, if it was slow, then you had a lot of time to get the habit in there. And then you have this acceptance piece and then the identity shift so that you stay. So then your reason is sort of like a crutch to get you to the identity piece. And in maintenance, that's what we're looking for. That it's not that you're constantly fighting yourself, because it becomes easier after a lot of time of doing the same behavior. And that's what you can look forward to in maintenance. Now, it takes a while, but there's an ease to it that is much different than weight loss. And that's what I want for you, ease, and staying in the body that you want. That's it. That's what I got you. We're going to go from reason to identity, and that's what happens in maintenance. And you can do that. And then you get to be in the size body you want, and you get to not think so much and in such a sort of anxiety-filled way about food that you get to do the rest of your life. Be creative, do the things you want, figure out what that is, and do it. It's a good life, maintenance life. I will see you next week. Have a great one. Bye.